Because man's task is to make the earth after the model of heaven. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Man's project is to heavenize the earth. Man is made to transform the world from glory to glory, to take hold of it and break it down and remake it after the image of heaven.
Welcome back to the Reformed Reset. My name is Grant, and joined with me is my beautiful wife, Erica, the weaker vessel.
Hello, everyone.
We're a part of Take Hold Studios. Please hit the subscribe button right now and hit the like button. And if you want to be notified whenever we release new content, hit the bell on YouTube. And if you're listening to us audio, then subscribe in your podcast. On audio. Subscribe to us in your podcast catcher and leave us a review. I think we need to do another giveaway soon.
Yeah, we should.
And stir up some of the listeners. So
yeah,
we need to get some more reviews and stuff like that. So we're going to come up with another giveaway soon.
That's in the works.
We might have a guest on soon.
Yeah.
So we got some stuff coming down the pike. So anyway, stay tuned. It's going to be good. Merry Advent season. Yes. We are now in the Advent season. I hope you guys love Christmas as much as we do.
This should be released on December 1st. So the first day of December.
Yep.
Happy December.
When is that? Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
So happy December. I hope it's snowing by you. Surprisingly, in Maine, we have not had a big snow or anything yet.
No, it's weird. We have this running joke that because Grant's Californian, that it cancels out my Wisconsin, and everywhere we live, we basically get no snow.
And I really don't know how to handle
For
this.
the 13 years we've been married, we have had very little snow, and we've lived in
places that are supposed to get a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, New York, Canada,
and now Maine. North Carolina, I feel like we got more snow there in the South than we did anywhere else.
Listen, everyone says they want to move or at least have the weather of California and stuff. Although you love seasons.
Yeah.
Some people love seasons.
I love seasons. I love snow. So
yeah,
we're anxiously anticipating the snow.
And I do too, because I grew up with none of it. It was like, what's snow? You know, when you grow up in California on the coast. So I love it. It's a lot of fun. But we don't have any of it yet. I hope you do, though.
Yeah.
So in light of the Christmas season, we wanted to do a bunch of Christmas content.
This is going to be really simple because Christmas season is crazy. Holiday season's crazy. So we decided to just scale back a little bit, and we're going to do a little series called Considering the Carols. So the carols are so iconic of the holiday season, of Advent season, of the Christmas season. And maybe one of these we'll talk about Advent and the importance of that, the church calendar, a little bit. Yeah.
So I think that's something that Christians should latch on to a little more, as we have.
Maybe that could be our crescendo.
Okay, that's a good idea. But, you know, right now is the time when going to Walmart or the grocery store or whatever, you actually start hearing carols, which we always think is so awesome because it's just a sign of Jesus taking...
So post-mill.
Yeah, it's so post-mill. It's taking dominion, right? We take over the airwaves.
We take over the grocery stores, for crying out loud. The pagans sing along with our hymns.
Joy to the world.
Yeah.
Do you even know what you're saying? Of course they don't. They probably wouldn't if they did know. But what is the substance? What's the content? What's the history of some of these carols? And so Considering Carols, our little series here, is going to go through some of the history, who the author was of some of the more common and well-known carols, and then we'll just talk for a few minutes about the importance of the theology or the message that's found in the carol. And we hope that this is a benefit to you and a little added added something for your Advent season, for your Christmas time.
Yeah, hopefully just something small to turn on in the car while you're doing your, errands or whatever. Just something to kind of just take a pause and consider the awesome history behind these songs.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, right, the more that we've looked into it, it's rich.
Yeah. Well, it tells a really cool tale of God's providence, oftentimes.
That's good.
We're going to kick off with a very well-known hymn.
All right. I don't know this. I don't know the order.
He doesn't know anything yet. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start off with "O Come All Ye Faithful."
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Very good.
Maybe we should put in "Oh Come All Ye Faithful" like in the background. It could just like swell.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I could find that.
So "Oh Come All Ye Faithful."
Hey,
we're not going to sing it for you.
Cue the music. I just gotta let our people know.
Okay. So this one actually has. I am not like great at telling stories, so this is like a stretch for me. So
we're good.
So hang in there, guys.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. So this one actually was interesting because there isn't a ton known about the history of this. Him.
Mystical writer.
And like some of the stories that I found were kind of like contradictory. Oh. So I'm going to give you what
People just making stuff up.
Well, I think, there's just not a ton known. So what I do know.
Okay.
Like this is the consensus of what I know. Okay.
Yep.
So it was written around 1773.
Okay.
So a good long while. And it was written by a man named John Francis Wade, who was Catholic. And he actually was an Englishman who escaped to France because there was some persecution in England at the time towards Catholics.
Right.
So he went to France and he was working as a what do they call it? A copier, I think is what they called it.
Okay.
Basically, he was copying music because in that time it was hard to actually, like, you couldn't just print off music like we can.
Or something?
Yeah, today. Yeah. So he would actually like draw, like write out the music. Yes, he would draw it, like write it. He was called a copier.
That's a skill.
So as he was doing that, he was supporting himself that way. He found an old Latin hymn called, once again, like my Latin is,
forgive us.
Not super sharp, but he found this Latin song called Adeste Fidelis.
Okay.
And so if you ever see the song,
Something
"O Come All Ye
Faithful,"
Faithful, usually like in parentheses, it'll say
Adeste
Fidelis. Yeah. So he found that and he was like overwhelmed by this Latin song.
Yeah.
And he eventually moved back to England, I believe, from what I can.
Persecution
kind of died
went
down
a little bit.
And another I think he was actually Anglican. Another Anglican minister eventually found, I think it was 100 years later, found this man's work, John Francis Wade's work. And let's see if I can.
So it was largely forgotten for a time.
For about 100 years, yeah.
Interesting.
And so this man, the Anglican man, was named C. Frederick, I think, Oakley.
Okay.
Would be how you'd pronounce that. And he was once again overcome by the beauty of this song. And once again, from what I understand, like when John Francis Wade was writing this song, it was still in Latin, from what I understand.
So he had to translate it.
So when Oakley found it, it was in Latin.
Oh,
and eventually Oakley became Catholic. He converted to Catholicism. Maybe it was,
another one bites the dust.
Maybe he was influenced by his predecessor or something. I don't know. But
maybe
he became Catholic, and when he was doing, I think, a Christmas Eve service, actually, he tried to. He had a name for it. I don't remember the name for the song originally, but it didn't really take off. Okay. He had a more complicated name for this song.
Gotcha.
And a couple years later, he still loved this song so well that he thought he'd try again, try and make it popular and try and get his congregation to
sing it,
enjoy it, and sing this song. And so he renamed it to "O Come All Ye Faithful," and then that one stuck. The people liked that one, and it's all history from there.
It just took off. I love that some of the hymns, and this is one aspect of some of these Christmas carols that I love, and it's the same with Glory.
I don't know.
The heck is that one? The one that you have to have a lot of breath to sing that one. Yeah. Glory.
Yeah.
Anyway, the name escapes me. I'm sure you guys, all three of you right now watching, are like, oh, I know what you're talking about. Anyway, they have a long history in the church. Like you said, like it's found from who knows when. In the church in Latin, right? Latin reigned as the language of the church in the West for 1,000 years. So that could have been written 200 AD, 300 AD, when the transition from Greek to Latin was kind of happening. And then the church didn't leave the Latin language until the Reformation, really. So, who knows the history, but how cool to think of the thousands and thousands of Christians throughout the years sang this song for so long. And then, of course, with the Reformation, church worship now became, it was almost like Pentecost moment, right? Now there's tons of languages speaking the good news. But anyway, Gloria Excel. It's not coming.
It's okay.
Anyway, that one also is one of the oldest songs, that we know of in the church. So it's really cool to see the history. And I always love that too, because you have a connection then with your church family. We're not isolated here. This is something that you with, the saints of centuries past have been sanctified by, have been encouraged by. This has been a means of grace for them too. Well,
and the cool thing in a culture, I think that is very postmodern and believes that like everyone can have their own truth.
Yeah.
Is that we can have this old Latin song that's translated more than once, honestly, and the truths of it stand the test of time because like truth actually is everlasting. Yeah, it's a person. Truth is a person.
Yeah.
So
that is good.
It pierces into like this weird postmodern culture, and I just love that. I love that you can't escape truth.
Well, and that's like I'm maybe gonna butcher the formal terms, so I'll just use regular terms. Is like
we're very prepared here today.
You can change the style of music, which I think philosophers or somebody would call the accidents. Like you can change the outward look of it. You can change the type of music, whether it's a choir, whether it's a band, whether you do it jazzy, whether you do it rock, or whatever. But the substance remains the same. Right? We keep the words, the substance there, just like you said. That truth is everlasting.
Right.
And so in today's world where you think, oh, well, it must be new to be relevant, or it must, you can create your own truth, right? And then that's what's most valuable. That doesn't stand the test of time.
No.
But we have truth that is unbending, unwavering, everlasting. You might change the outward appearance of it, right?
Or the tempo or whatever.
Yep. You might play it in G instead of E.
Right.
But that substance is going to grip your heart and grip your soul and feed your soul the same as it always has.
Well, and it's cool, too, that both of these men were so taken by this song that they couldn't give up on it. They had to almost dedicate their life to making this song known.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool point, because how many things do you discover, or I come across certain topics, theological topics or something, and I think, oh, that'd be really cool to study. And then you just move on to something else and you never come back to it. But then there's those certain things that grip you and you can't let it go.
Right.
This is Abraham Kuyper in my life. I can't let him go.
It makes me think about that second minister, the Anglican who converted to Catholicism, Oakley. It makes me think of Jonathan Edwards in Sinner in the Hands of an Angry God.
Catholic.
No, he didn't. That part he didn't. But Jonathan Edwards preached the sermon Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, and the first time he preached it kind of fell on deaf ears. Like people weren't enthralled by it.
Good
the
one,
first
Pastor.
Time.
Thank you.
And it wasn't until Jonathan Edward went to guest preach at another church that people had that amazing reaction to that sermon and were weeping and reacted that way. So it was the second time that he preached it that people responded, and it was the second Christmas that he composed and kind of changed the song around that people actually responded so passionately to it.
Yeah, that's good.
Makes you think, like, sometimes the first time, like, don't give up,
Yeah, don't give up. If the Spirit is, encouraging you to something, don't just give up because you think no one's, Listen, Jeremiah, the book in the Old Testament is the longest book in the whole Bible. He's the most, ministry, I guess you could say, or like the most prophecies he spoke and whatever. God used him mightily. How many converts? None.
Yeah.
And he was even thrown in jail. And even
what a ministry, right? Like, thanks for that one, God.
Thanks everybody.
But perseverance is something that Reformed Christians for sure believe in, and it's something that we're called to. Yeah. What you looking for?
My Bible.
Oh.
There was a verse in Hebrews 10 this morning that I read that brought that up. Like, because of what Jesus has done in the perfect sacrifice he gave of himself, and then now that he through his own flesh, right, has given us access, because of all this, we can have full assurance. And then the very next verse in Hebrews, it's like, so then don't ever give up. Persevere. Keep going.
Right.
You saying that just reminded me of that verse this morning. So
it's a good reminder, though.
Yeah. And then the story of Oakley is a good reminder, too. I would advise against becoming Catholic, though.
Yeah, that's not really what we're encouraging.
There's a story there in this man's life.
We do believe that there are Catholic brothers and sisters
for sure.
in Christ. We're just teasing you guys.
Yeah. Theologically, let's not go there.
We think we're superior theologically, of course, but you know.
Right, obviously. Cool. All right. Well, is that it? We're gonna end.
That's all I got.
These are gonna be little shorter chats about these carols. Hopefully, we can do a whole bunch of them for you guys leading up till Christmas, and then we'll talk about church calendar.
Yeah.
Right? Is that something we should even follow? Is that biblical? There's division in the Reformed Church over that. Do you know that?
I know. Once again, we're theologically superior in our beliefs. So.
Amen and amen. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Look out for the next one. So subscribe and do all those things. So that way you don't miss any content. Engage with us. Happy Advent season. If you're going through Behold Your King, the devotional we wrote, several of you got a copy. If you're going through it, take pictures. Post it and tag us. We would love to see your family going through the devotional. That'd be so cool. So anyway, until next time, take hold by reordering creation by first reforming your home. This has been the Reformed Reset.
Merry Christmas.
Behold him, born the King of Ages.